Over the last 5 years, the Boy Scouts of America have made major changes to the organization. Today, they announced that girls will be allowed to join the Cub Scout programs and then eventually produce a program for older Scouts. Valley News Team's Molly Casey spoke with both the Boys and Girl Scouts about the change.
It's not really new, it's just a younger age group.
For 107 years, the Boy Scouts of America has been the destination program for boys and young men, with a few older programs open to young women. But that changed in a unanimous vote Wednesday to open Cub Scout programs to younger girls.
What National has said is that it will be a boy den program and a girl den program.
The Boy Scouts will open the program to girls starting in the fall of 2018, but the National Board left the decision of integration up to the local troops.
We may have some chartered organizations that say, no, we just want to have all boys and nothing with girls, or they could decide to do an integrated program.
Many have asked how this will affect the 105-year-old Girl Scouts program, but the Girl Scouts say they're focused solely on themselves.
We're going to keep kind of running our program like we have for many years because we know it's successful.
Kate Reed of the Dakota Horizons Girl Scout region says the organization is still the leading program for young women and have no plans to integrate young men.
Our expertise is girls. We've got 100 years worth of experience, and we are the GIRL champions.
Neither representative would give a prediction on how the change will impact either organization's membership, but Steindl says he looks forward to bringing in the new Cubs.
We've had tag-alongs, I guess, that their brothers are involved in scouting, and the girls have come along and they just like doing all the activities that the boys do.
From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
Steindl says he doesn't expect there to be any issues with bringing girls into the Cub Scout program, and says many parents have already contacted the organization about the announcement. Local dancers are weighing in on when they think boys and girls shouldn't be dance partners. A Wisconsin boy on his high school dance team was barred from dancing in Minnesota because of high school state league rules. Now, a nonprofit law firm is threatening to sue. His lawyers say it violates his constitutional rights and doesn't make sense because girls are allowed to play football, but boys can't dance. Local dancers say they're surprised that competitive dancing with the opposite sex is still an issue.
It's really odd to me. I just don't understand why they won't let him dance. I mean, the kid wants to dance. Let him live his dream.
The Minnesota State High School League has until November 3rd to change the rules or face litigation. The Pacific Legal Foundation, the firm representing the Wisconsin boys, says they need to change the rules or they're going to get sued.
This has nothing to do with private organizations. This is just when the government is acting, when it's a public body or entity, when they treat people differently based on a characteristic like their sex, they better have a good reason for doing so.
The law firm says the Minnesota High School League has until November 3rd again to rewrite their rules or again face litigation. An Edgeley, North Dakota farmer has been recognized by President Donald Trump after writing his message in a field. Gene Hansen recently plowed the message, "We stand for the national anthem," in his bean field near Edgeley. It comes in response to the controversial kneeling protests that some NFL players are taking part in. The story was shared by President Trump with his nearly 23 million followers with the caption, "Thank you, Gene Hansen, a great American and farmer who is standing up for our flag, our anthem, and our country." Coming up after weather, we'll tell you what's being done to help the homeless problem in downtown Fargo. Plus, a Minnesota man who was deployed to North Korea makes the surprise of a lifetime. You won't want to miss that story in just a few moments. But first, Robert, it was a gusty one for us today. Will we be hearing those winds howling tonight?
Yeah, the breezes will continue as we head through the overnight hours, maybe subsiding just a touch, but still seeing those winds gusting over 20 miles per hour at times. A live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. Traffic moving along nicely along I-94 and University Avenue, and we'll have to deal with a little bit of wind out there. So keep that in mind if traveling in lightweight or high-profile vehicles. You may feel that get a tug a little bit with some of those stronger gusts. 54 degrees right now. Those winds out of the south and southeast at 15 miles per hour. Temperatures elsewhere, a mix of some 40s and some 50s. 48 in Langdon, 50 in Valley City, 52 in Detroit Lakes, also 52 up in the Roseau area. I mentioned the breezes, they're out there, and we'll still see those winds at times gusting over 20 miles per hour tonight. Tomorrow, once again, gusting over 30 miles per hour. A bit of cloudiness out there, mostly high clouds, but we'll start to see some lower cloudiness make its way from the south and southeast, particularly in our Minnesota counties as we head through the overnight hours. The clouds that we do have not producing any precipitation, none anticipated as we head through the overnight hours and through the day on Thursday. In fact, the northern plains are quiet, and if you could avoid the clouds, the northern lights could be out as we head through not only tonight, but the next couple of nights. A little bit of rain and snow up in the Pacific Northwest off towards the east, a little bit of rain making its way through the northeast. And if you're heading to northeastern Ohio for the Bison taking on the Penguins at the Stambaugh Stadium in Youngstown on Saturday, looks like good weather. Mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. I mentioned the low clouds. Here they come. They'll start to make their way off towards the north and then slide off towards the northeast as we head through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning. Overnight lows mostly in the 40s. Gusty winds will continue again, gusting over 20 miles per hour at times. And as we head through the day tomorrow, breezy conditions will continue. We'll see some clouds from time to time, but we'll also see some sunshine from time to time and a pretty warm day. We're going to warm it on up into the 60s, even a few low 70s out there. Now, as a cool front makes its way on through late in the day, could be just enough moisture to spark off a few showers in our far northeastern counties before those get on out of here. For us here in Fargo, we'll start off with partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper 40s, breezy conditions. Those breezes will stay with us all day. Upper 50s by lunchtime. We're going to top it out right around 70 degrees. Picture of the day, it's a nice one. A fall landscape, Maplewood State Park. Thanks so much to Alicia for sending that in. Going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast tomorrow. A nice day, albeit a bit windy, 70 degrees, 59 behind that cool front on Friday. Over the weekend, some unsettled weather with a chance of rain, possibly mixing with a little bit of snow before ending early Sunday morning. And then we warm it back up by Tuesday into the low 70s.
And Maplewood State Park, by the way, this time of year is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, there's so many areas that look wonderful at this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. And we love to see your pictures as well. Thanks, Robert. Multiple people contacted us on our whistleblower hotline asking us to look into what's being done about groups of people hanging out downtown Fargo, possibly homeless or drunk. The problem recently caught the attention of the Downtown Community Partnership, who created a safety committee. The owner of one downtown business says the issue has gotten a lot better than it was just 20 years ago.
There was this kind of unwritten rule that we would put up with some things in downtown back in the olden days. And there was a turning point where we, came to the understanding that if it's not okay to do out on 42nd Street, it's not okay to do downtown. And so that's been the biggest change in culture.
Fargo police have also upped their community policing, walking the streets downtown to keep people safe. 3-year-old Michael Cohn hasn't seen his dad in more than 8 months. His dad's a soldier serving overseas. But this morning, recess quickly became a surprise reunion. From Spider-Man to Captain America, 3-year-old Michael has quite a few favorite superheroes. But this morning, he got to see his real-life hero for the first time since February. Reporter Chris Yu has the story.
Gabe, how are you feeling right now?
I'm a little nervous. It's been a long time.
More than 8 months, to be exact, since Gabe Cohn last saw his 3-year-old son Michael. Wednesday morning at Kingsland Elementary, father and son finally reunite.
Hey, Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hey.
Can you say hi?
Hi. Yeah. You came back.
I came back, didn't I?
Yeah.
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
A lot?
Yeah.
Can we do a big hug?
Yay. I miss you.
You miss me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Whoa.
Whoa. Are you surprised?
Why you all came back for me?
Gabe had just returned home Tuesday after being deployed in South Korea since early February. First, he surprised his wife, Frankie.
I had my volleyball girls come and get me, and they said someone was here to see you. So I went out, and it was lots of mixed emotions. Happy and excited.
Mm-hmm. And of course, on Wednesday, he surprised his son, too.
I miss you.
I missed you too, dude.
You came back.
Yeah, I came back. Mwah. Mwah.
Is that the coolest surprise ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Gabe is making the most of his time with family before returning to duty in November.
I'm gonna get you.
Because being more than 6,000 miles away from his wife and 2 kids is not easy.
Here he comes. Woo!
When you're deployed overseas, tell me about what you miss the most about your family.
Just being with them. I think waking up in the mornings and seeing them, and seeing them when I come home from work and stuff like that. You know, I come home to an empty dorm room now, so it's nice to be able to come home to my kids and my wife.
And having to say so many goodbyes is trying too.
It's stressful, you know. It's hard to not be there, especially if she's going through some things or if she's upset. You know, all I can do is talk to her on the phone, and most of the time I can't even do that with the time difference. So it's hard.
But the family is not letting their time apart get in the way of their time together.
You came back.
Gabe has to return to South Korea in early November, but he expects to come home again either late February or early March of next year. Minnesota is getting more time to comply with Real ID today. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security announced it extended the deadline for more than 20 states to comply with Real ID standards. Now, what this means is Minnesota can continue to use their driver's licenses for federal purposes, such as boarding airplanes and accessing federal facilities, now until January 22nd. In October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so some volunteers decided to take to a treadmill for the race against the disease. Throughout the day, participants put the pedal to the tread belt. It was all to raise money for the breast cancer awareness event and for cancer research. And for every mile that participants run on Family Wellness's ribbon and sticker covered machine, the organization will donate $5.
You know, that's what we really try and strive for with our mission, is to really connect people, inspire wellness, but also in a fun environment.
All proceeds go to the Edith Sanford Breast Cancer Foundation. And if you're more of a night owl, that's okay. You can still swing by tonight before the gym closes at 11. You may also see a strange sight at the side of the road if you're driving down 12th Avenue in Fargo. The Sigma Phi Delta Engineering Fraternity is manning a boat for their annual Pedal for Pets fundraiser. Fraternity members will be out sailing the not-so-open sea for 72 hours, all in order to raise money for the Adopt a Pet Foundation. The event is a tradition going back more than a decade, and it's something that everyone in the house looks forward to.
Morale's good, everybody's happy. We have a megaphone, we'll holler at people across the street, you know, or something, you know, try to interact with people. We get cars honking at us, it keeps us alive and awake.
The pedal boat originally set sail at noon on Tuesday. The frat will be on the water accepting donations until noon on Friday. The war of words continues to rage on between the U.S. and North Korea. NBC News has an exclusive report on the matter. Straight ahead tonight.